Hey, Aaron Rabinowitz here, and in this video we're going to look at how to take Reallusion Actorcore animation files and make them work with the Unreal Engine skeletons. These animations are hands down the best mocap files you'll find online. I am not paid to say that. I have bought every one of these myself and I really love them. And while they can easily be brought over to Unreal for use with the Actorcore characters, they don't retarget properly to the Unreal Engine skeletons when you're using Unreal's auto-retargeter. But in this video, I'll show you how to fix that. Special thanks to Enoch Borgos from Reallusion and Nick Jashushin from Pixelprof for their help in figuring this out. So here I am in Unreal Engine. I've got the library brought into Unreal, and I want to use them with a character that has the Unreal Engine 5 skeleton. What do I do? Well, my first instinct would be to use the auto-retargeting because it works so well with so many different skeletons. But because of some differences between the Unreal skeleton and the Actorcore skeleton, it has some challenges, as you'll see. Let's look at that. So I'm going to go with the most basic pose here, an idle stand. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose retarget animations. And from here, I'm going to tell it to use the source, which is the Actorcore skeleton. And then I'm going to go and use the Manny skeleton, which is Unreal Engine 5's default skeleton. Now I bring that in, and at first it looks like it might be right, but something's off. And if you turn sideways, you can see that the spine is just bent in this really weird way. And I'm not 100% sure what's causing it, but I know that there's a difference in the number of bones in the spine, even between Unreal Engine 4's skeleton and the Actorcore skeleton. So it's probably doing something there, and it's just all coming out just a little bit wrong. And then the hands, the arms and stuff, and the legs, the feet, and their placement is not exactly right either. So if I were to do this, we can see that it's not working quite right here, especially with the back. Okay, so that's not going to work. So what we need to do is create a retargeter that will replace the auto-generated retargeter here. So the first thing we're going to need to do is to create an IK rig for both of these skeletons. So I'm going to go to the motion dummy mail right here, and I'm just going to right click on motion dummy mail. I'm going to choose create, and I'm going to choose IK rig. Then I'm going to open that up, and inside I'm going to click auto create retarget chains. And then I'm going to click save. And then I'll close up this asset. Then I'm going to go over to where I have the Unreal Engine skeleton. And here I'm going into the mannequins and the meshes. And I've got SKM Manny. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose again, create, and then IK rig, open that up. And then let's choose auto create retarget chains and then click on save. Okay, now let's build the retargeter. And then I'm going to head over to the folder that has all of the animations again, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose retarget animations. And this time what I'm going to do is, instead of having it choose auto generate retargeter, I'm going to come over to here and I'm going to choose IK retargeter, and it's going to want to create it somewhere. I'm just going to put it at the top of the content level, and we're going to call this, I want to go with Actorcore AC to UE5, right? We'll just do that so that we have, that's the name of the retargeter, so we can find it. And if I come back up to my main content folder here, I can see AC to UE5. We're going to open this up, and we have to tell it which IK rigs to use. So first one is going to be the motion dummy mail. The second one is going to be SKM Manny, this one right here. And we're going to pull out. And let's see. So we can see that it's not a perfect one-to-one match. First of all, the height's a little different. So just for preview purposes right here, this is preview settings, target mesh, scale. I'm going to set this to 1.05. So now Manny is just about the same height. He's also positioned not quite right, but let's leave that alone. And what I can see right away is that the arms are not correct. Well, look, it's corrected the back though, which is great. But the arms are not correct right now, and neither are the legs. And we're going to do this basically manually. It's not too big a deal. And we're not going to get it perfect. It's not the easiest thing to do by hand. Like, that's why the auto retargeters are so great, but we can do a pretty good approximation. So the first thing we want to do is, let's just fix the feet. I think that's a good idea. So we have to move the legs first. So I'll just go with thigh, and then I'll choose the right thigh. And let's just make sure that we're going to turn on the retargeter right here. So let's just choose edit retarget pose. And now with the thigh selected, I'm just going to move this. Oh, I can see that this is turned on right here. This little, that locks the amount of rotation. I don't need it to be that much, so let's just try to get it to something that looks right. I would say, why don't we go with 2.5 for that. That looks good. And we'll do it for the other thigh as well. We'll say 2.5. And the feet now are kind of on a tilt. So let's just go to the feet. So type in foot and foot right. And I'm going to say something like -5 degrees. And the foot left also -5 degrees. And that looks pretty good. And then the arms, we're going to have to just work out here, do our best with it as best we can. So I think for starters, it's very clear that the lower arms are too rotated here. So we can try this. Let's try, so lower, we'll choose lower arm left, and with that, we'll just kind of straighten it out a bit. -25, maybe -20, something like that, because it's not a perfect match. And we'll do the same for the lower arm here, -20. And then I think I just want to raise the shoulders or the arms. So why don't we try upper arm, and we can just try to, just a little bit there, maybe, let's try 5 there, and upper arm right, also 5 there. And I think then let's just hit save, close this out, and then let's go back to the animation files here, and again, retarget one more time. Retarget animations. Okay, we're going to choose again Manny. I'll just type that in, Manny. And for the retargeter, we're going to choose AC to UE5. And you can see now that that is working much better, and that looks much more like it did and it's looking, and now we can see that it looks much better and more like what it should. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but it should get you pretty close. So now if I choose one of these, one of these animations, we'll see that everything looks more or less the way it should. And you may notice things like, for example, the hands kind of cross through, and if that happens, you can go back and try to retarget and change some of the things so that maybe the arm is bent a little more. It's not perfect, and we can play with this, and eventually you'll get it. It's just like, it depends on the character that you're working with and all of those kinds of things. So when you get into these issues, it might be worth putting side by side the retarget animation window and this retargeter window that we were working on, so you have them together. And then what you can do is you can try to, let's say I want to bring the upper arm here, bring that up a little bit, and I'll copy that and paste that to this upper arm over here. And then I'm going to go to the lower arm. And you can see as we're doing it, we're affecting this pose right here. So I can go to the lower arm, and maybe, let me see if this is bring this just forward a little bit and do that for the other one. And yeah, something like, if I go with let's just say -10 here. And I'll do that. I'll copy this rotation and I'll paste it right here so that we have a match. And if I look at the hands now, it's definitely looking better. I can definitely play with that a little more. Maybe make this -8. And make this one -8. And yeah, you can see we can keep doing this until we find what's working. -3. And yeah, that's pretty good, actually. So that'll get us pretty close to what we want it to be. So it's really just finessing it at this point. And of course, don't forget to save your work. Anyway, I hope that this helps you in your work. Once again, I'm Alan Rabinowitz. Thanks for watching.